What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Off the Bench. Of course, I'm DeMarcus. I got another special guest with me. My man Anthony's here today to sit in for Ty as he take care of some personal stuff. What's going on, Ant, man? How you feeling today?
Man, I'm doing real good today.
Doing good, man?
Day. Yeah.
Had a good day so far?
Absolutely.
How was work?
Great. Okay. I have no complaints. I'm just here enjoying life, 1 minute at a time.
Hey, man, I want to thank you again for coming on the podcast, because I know you one of the guys, outside of Ty and a couple other guys I talked to, you have some sense about yourself when it comes to talking sports. So I'm glad you was able to come on here with me today. So, man, let's get right into it. We got quite a bit on the list today. All right. But first thing, I think you're gonna like this one. Yeah. Because I really put this one in here for you. I put this one in for you because I know you're a big fan of this NFL team.
Big fan.
So the drafts, right around the corner.
Yep. Coming
up here very, very soon. So with that being said, this first topic or subject matter, I said, where do they go from here? So asking you as a New England Patriots fan, drafts coming up, where do y'all go from here, man? What should y'all do in the draft?
We need an edge rusher.
An edge rusher, okay.
Edge rusher.
Okay.
And probably a corner.
Okay.
We really need to work back on our defense.
Yeah.
I don't know what's been going on with Bill lately.
Yeah. I think, man.
Tom Brady,
yeah, it's for me, just looking at Bill, of course, he's still Bill. Me and you know that. He's still Bill.
Yeah.
But like you said, I just think he's lost something with Tom Brady leaving. I don't know what it is, but he just lost something. And these last couple of years, you can definitely see that.
Yeah, whatever he's trying to prove, it's not working.
It's not working. But I mean, what's the issue with your quarterback? I think he does well for y'all.
Who?
Jones. I think Jones.
Oh, I love Jones.
I think Jones does well for y'all, but I feel like there's a lot of hate towards him, and I don't know why. Because
he's young.
Okay.
He might be a little cocky.
Okay.
But no, I think he was brought into a system, so his first year, name his weapons. His best weapon was Jacoby Myers.
Yep, that's true. Yeah.
Second year, doesn't have an offensive coordinator. Yeah. Actually, it's a cluster.
Yeah, because Bill was the offensive coordinator, wasn't he? That second year?
He was an advisor. But it was Joe Judge and Matt Patricia, who's no longer even there.
So Bill Belichick was the offensive coordinator.
Who's a defensive mind.
Defensive mind, absolutely.
So one, you're bringing a rookie in.
Yep.
On his second season with two guys who don't. One's a special teams coach, Joe Judge,
and being a successor to the greatest quarterback to ever live.
So you've got expectations. Yeah. One you can't hold up to because you're a rookie.
Yeah.
So your second season, you get stuck with coaches who aren't in the right position.
Yeah.
Then you get hurt and benched, and then you've got the entire crowd base, fan base, chanting a dude's name. Who's good? Zappe's good.
Yeah.
But do I say he's better than Mac Jones?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No, I think Mac Jones is the quarterback for y'all, in my opinion, based off the system that y'all are running and what he's done, even coming back off his injury. To me, he's a good quarterback. Yeah. Can he become a great quarterback? That's yet to be seen or determined, as long as y'all put the pieces around him. Yeah. And don't put it all on his shoulders to just come in there and run off for 7 championships like Tom Brady. Yeah. So I just think that's where they're kind of drawing balls like, hey, man, we have to understand that, yes, we lost Tom, but we also have lost the pieces of our team that makes us great too, which is on the defensive side, because last 3 years, that's what y'all been known for. Yeah. And
defense is still good.
It's still good, but that's where y'all need to revamp. I agree with you on that.
The one piece I think we're missing that'll bring us past the hump is a veteran number 1 receiver who's good. Yeah. A good receiver.
Yeah.
Devontae Adams, somebody like that.
Yeah. To come in that can take the pressure off Mac.
Yeah, I think
so too. Yeah. I mean, I like Juju.
All we did was just do this.
Yeah, I like Juju, but like I say, even with him playing with KC, he never stepped up over, Hartman. I feel like McCole Hartman was better than Juju in that team, in that system. Right. And we all know Travis Kelce, that's their offense. Right. So I just don't think he stretched the defense any differently or made a bad matchup for anybody. And being on y'all team, I don't think he's gonna do the same thing.
Proved it with the Steelers. Once Antonio Brown left, you didn't step up as a one.
And I think at one point reports were coming out saying that y'all was looking at Odell Beckham a little bit too. Yeah. Which I wish y'all would have kind of grabbed him, but I also knew that Odell, he wanted a bag and nobody else wanted to give him that bag but Baltimore.
Saw what he said why he went to Baltimore, right?
Yeah.
Not because of the money.
Yeah.
Because of the love.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said, okay.
I can't knock him for that. I mean, but also I'm not turning down $15 guaranteed $1 million either.
No, if you're gonna get paid, I ain't
yeah.
Like,
so you know what I'm saying, because you're getting paid what the top dogs are getting paid at that point. So I'm not knocking him for that either. So let's talk about some other teams. What is there any other teams that you can see that you're like, okay, in this draft they need to go towards this, as for kind of really revamping the team, making the team better going into this year.
Curious to see what the Panthers do.
Yeah, that was my main one with the Panthers, especially with this number 1 pick, because this is, to me, this type of pick is going to transition y'all for the next 3-4 years. So you got to make sure you get this pick right. Yeah. Do they need a quarterback? Yes. Do Houston need a quarterback? Absolutely. There's a lot of teams that need quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But what I hate for Bryce is for him to go there and like say they do it like a Mac Jones situation where it's like, man, you got to come in here and be all pro your first year.
Yeah, what happened to 3 years on the bench and then coming out? I mean, everybody did it. Favre did it.
Yeah.
Brady did it.
Well, I think because the way the NFL is now, and it's such a quarterback-driven league that
that's true.
Everybody's looking for that next Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Everybody looking for that next Joe Burrow. Everybody looking for the next Allen. Everybody's looking for the next Jalen Hurts because they all have similar stories where they weren't highly recruited, then became great college players or semi-great college players, and then go to the league. They're thinking they're going to just jump all these levels, and that's why I feel for Bryce. It's like, man, everybody's comparing him to Pat, and I mean I don't really see the resemblance in it because I don't feel like he was in the offense that allowed him to display that. But I'm not saying it's not in him.
Yeah.
But I just don't know. But I definitely want to see what Carolina's going to do, see what Houston's going to do. I want to see what Arizona's going to do because Arizona, they need a lot.
Yeah. What are they going to do with their wide receiver?
Because you can't trade him because nobody wants to pay him the money.
Yeah.
And it's wild to me, man, because he is one of the best wide receivers in the league. So that's what's crazy to me is that they're, for one, even thinking about trading him, and for two, nobody wants him.
Yeah, I mean, Kyler Murray was good for like the last 3 or 4 years. Then all of a sudden, now you're like, let's get rid of him. It's like, man, that's quick.
Especially after you give him all this money, it's like, which locks you up from being able to go get anybody else. So I don't know, but it's a lot of teams. I want to see what the Packers going to do now with all their picks that they got from the trade. So I want to see what they're going to do. My Chicago Bears, I want to see what we're going to do because we have a lot we need to do. You
guys need to just build some more confidence back in your quarterback now that you threatened to trade him.
And it just blows my mind, man. I'm like, how are you going to trade a kid that has all the attributes of what we're seeing around the league? Justin Fields is that next. He's that next guy. He's good.
Well, that's a shame last year.
He's good, and he's doing everything he did with no offense.
Everything.
With no offense. Yes, he does need to improve in accuracy and throwing the ball and reading defenses. But he's young. He don't have nobody to teach him that. And like I said, you can have the best offensive coordinator you want, but if you don't have no one else on the sideline that you respect enough that's in the trenches with you, it's hard. Yeah. So I just feel like Chicago is just doing a terrible job of, looking at him in the right light. And for a young kid to be there 2 years and then now talking about they want to get rid of you, it's like, I've done everything y'all asked me to do with nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
So, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do.
Raiders are on my
Raiders
on my list
too. Yeah, we'll see what the Raiders going to do. There's a lot of teams, man, I'm interested to see. I think this draft, I think the draft is going to go total opposite of what a lot of people think it's going to go because the Colts too, because they've been coming out saying that they're not looking at a quarterback, but we know they need a quarterback.
They have to. Yeah.
I mean,
you can't do what they did last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Bro, you blew a 33-point lead at halftime.
And I feel like they're coming off of the Andrew Luck haze because of course he retired unexpectedly. Yeah. And they was looking at him to be the quarterback for the next 20 plus years. Yeah. And he was good. He was good, yeah. On a Hall of Fame trend. But I also understand why he retired. I get that part too. But I think they've had like 18 starting quarterbacks since he's retired. So they're trying to find a good fit there too. And I don't know if a rookie quarterback is that fit, but I know they need to do something with that.
Maybe they should go get Cousins so he can have some respect finally.
I know, right? Because he don't get no respect. Nope. He don't get no. And it's crazy. And Cousins is a good quarterback. I mean, in the playoffs, he has his moment in the playoff where he do not do well. But as a quarterback himself, he's good.
Yeah, I don't know what people. I don't understand it. It's Crazy.
All right, man. So let's transition to Jalen Hurts. So he just signed his 5-year, $255 million extension.
Wow.
Do you think he deserved that?
I think he's good.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of money to give out in your first 5 years.
Yeah.
To only make the playoffs once. To go from, what were they, 8-9 last year?
Yeah,
like
to this past season. Yeah.
They were good, but they got exposed in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they did. I think he deserved it just because, when we're looking at the landscape of quarterbacks in the league, he's right there.
He runs really well too. He's not like the Lamar Jackson. Well, Lamar was pretty good at protecting himself, but you don't see him take a lot of big hits. Going straight for the out of bounds.
That's what I'm saying. He knows, okay, when it's time to run, I'm gonna run, but I understand how important I am. Let me get down. Let me get out of bounds. I'm not trying to run nobody over. He don't have that Josh Allen syndrome where he's like, okay, I'm finna put this 6'5", 260 on you and make you pay for trying to tackle me. He's trying to get out of bounds. But I believe he's in that upper echelon. We talk about quarterbacks right now in the league. I feel like Jalen Hurts is up there. He's proven it with all the scrutiny he's received that wasn't deserved since he's been in Philly. Yep. Man, since he was in Oklahoma in college. So
Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama. That's where it started. In the whole championship game he got benched.
Yeah.
I just feel like he hasn't been given any respect, and I feel like he's definitely deserved.
Got a huge chip.
He deserved that contract, and I'm just curious now to see what Joe Burrow's gonna get because it's coming up for him too. Yeah. To get a extension here.
Well,
soon.
That just shows you what happens when you give a good quarterback a good wide receiver. AJ Brown.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Pro Bowl numbers this year, and then of course you give him a good defense, which. They lost some pieces, but they also were able to keep a lot of pieces that I think. Now, I don't think they have the same type of record next year, but I still think they're a Super Bowl contender with the team they got.
Yeah, hopefully they don't do a Cam Newton. Go into almost undefeated and then disappear the rest of your life.
Yeah. So I
doubt that. I think they're going to be good again.
So also segue to another part of this question. With him getting this extension, do you think that hurts Lamar Jackson from now getting the contract he wants?
Yeah, because he's going to want that, if not more. Mm-hmm. Because he wants 230, but he wants 235 guaranteed.
He wants that that Watson's contract, which me and Ty has talked on a previous podcast. That's just not out there, man. Nobody's doing that. Like Cleveland doing that, I think it ruined the league in the sense because now a lot of guys are going to want that same contract and they're just not going to get it. No. So I don't necessarily think the contract hurts him because I don't think he was ever going to get anything close to that anyway. Yeah. But is he a great quarterback? Like I told Ty, I've had my reservations about him, but now I've looked at him more. He's up there, man. He's up there with with the record, with his ability to throw the ball and run. So I don't blame him.
What he's had on that team?
Yeah, and what he's had, yeah. And I don't blame him.
Contender? Yeah.
I don't blame him going after that money like he's trying to. I just don't think he's going to get what he's asking for.
No, he's not. But.
So with that being said, now that we see Jalen Hurts, we know he got his money. We know Joe Burrow's going to get his money. We know these other guys in the league that are more respected than him is going to get their money or get somewhere close to their money. Yeah. Does he play? Should he play this year? Or should he sit out? Even with Odell being there, should he come play with Odell?
I don't think it's going to hurt him not playing. Yeah. I think it's going to hurt Odell him not playing.
Of course.
But
100% because Odell ain't come there for that. He didn't come there to play with somebody that he don't.
I think he's just going to prove by not playing to everybody how valuable he is. Because he is. 100. I mean, minimum, he's going to get you 200 yards passing and probably 100 yards rushing every game.
Yeah.
I mean, he is that team.
I mean, he's the only quarterback in the league right now that'll give you over 3,000 yards passing and over 1,000 yards rushing.
Take the year off, get healthy.
Yeah.
Show him that you need him.
Yeah.
And then you may not get he may get a good contract, but it's not going to be guaranteed. That's what he needs to get away from. And that's the guaranteed money.
And that's what I think. Yeah, I think focus more on the total money. Yeah, because he can get that. Yeah, but he's not going to get the guaranteed that he's.
Doesn't help. He's a running quarterback.
Yeah, because everybody, and then plus these last couple of seasons he has been hurt. Yeah. So I think that's what Baltimore's looking at. It's like, yeah, you've been great for us, but we've noticed there's some lagging injuries that are starting to happen, and everybody knows once that start has, especially with a mobile quarterback, it's really hard to come back from that.
Got to get away from that guarantee.
So I think, if he can change his mind on the guarantee, but I understand too, stand your ground on it, man. If you want to keep going for it, go for it because you are one of the top quarterbacks in the league And people got to understand that. So
someone's going to give him close to what he wants.
Yeah. I think what ends up happening, I think he sits out, and then I think he ends up going to Miami and playing Miami because the reason why I bring that up because going into my next topic, Tua came out and said that he considered retiring from all the concussions.
I feel bad for him.
I do too. Great quarterback.
Just injury prone.
And I think this is where, for Bryce, what worries me about him is his size.
Yeah.
Tua, his size, being a small quarterback. Yeah. I think he might max out at 210 pounds. Yeah. But he's like 5'8".
Yeah, because Bryce even got hurt this year too.
That's what I'm saying. So that's my worry, for Tua is that, I know you're coming back this year, but man, I just don't think he could take another, concussion season like what he just went through.
Not if he's going to play for the Dolphins.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just don't see him, and I know he loves football, and it's hard to give up a sport that, for one, take care of your family, financially wise, but then to do something you've done all your life, it's like, okay, what are you going to do?
Maybe he needs to sit down with Andrew Luck and have a conversation.
That too, yeah, because Andrew Luck, you got to think Andrew Luck had the size and still was having the problems.
Yeah,
and I'm sure concussions is like rapid in the NFL, but nobody really talks about it because you don't want to look weak, or you just don't want you don't want to hurt your money.
Well, you want to play.
Yeah, you want to play. So, but I always wondered if he thought about that, and for him to come out and actually say that let you know that, man, he was really considering like leaving the league because he went through some vicious. Like the one when he locked up on the field, I thought he was done. I thought football was done for him because that's some
he should never
neurological type stuff going on when your body locks up like that.
He should have never been out there that game
at all. Ever. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like moving forward, if he's going to continue to play, Miami's got to do a better job of taking care of him.
No, absolutely.
They got to do a better job. That means either providing him with a better offensive line, changing up the offense to where he's able to get the ball out faster or run the ball more, something to take him off the. They say he was doing some I forgot some type of art, fighting art.
Oh yeah, jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu. He was doing that to learn how to fall. But my thing is like, you can only control so much of that in the NFL. Now you get pushed, you can kind of control yourself a little. But when you talking about getting slammed to the ground, ain't no jiu-jitsu gonna help you.
My man gonna get the little Giants treatment. They gonna bubble wrap him.
I'm saying that's not gonna help you when you talking about getting slammed to the ground.
Yeah.
So, all right. So moving on to another player that's going through some contract issues right now, Saquon Barkley.
Okay.
For the Giants, they're not giving him his money.
I mean, can't really blame him though. He's been hurt too.
Yeah. Should he not play?
That's a little different.
Yeah. Because I know the running back market, me and Ty talked about the running back market is trash. There's just no market.
Well, it's like a 6-year span.
Yeah.
You have 6. The problem is he's like Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He's doing everything.
Yeah.
Catching the ball, running the ball, blocking.
Sometimes passing. Yeah.
Your expiration date is real short. So should he sit out? Probably so he can rest and just get healthy, but I don't think it's going to help him. Yeah, because I know I think the GM or vice president of operations came out and said that they haven't really talked to Saquon in like weeks. Wow. When
they come to his contract, because I think they did franchise it, but he hasn't signed the franchise tag yet. And I think he got up until this week actually to sign it or sit out or whatever. But
that's interesting.
I didn't know that. So that's my thing with him is like you just said, he's a Derrick Henry, he's a Christian McCaffrey. He's one of those running backs, like I said, that do everything for the team. Yeah. So I know the organization's looking at it, it's like, you do everything for us, but now you're starting to get hurt from it.
Yeah, which sucks for him because we use and abuse you. Now we're going to get rid of you.
Exactly. I mean, Zeke Elliott, Zeke dealing with that.
Yeah.
He got used and abused with Dallas, and then once they started seeing him,
Pollard came out.
I was like, okay, and then Pollard got hurt, so now I'm curious to see how they're going to treat him coming off of that ankle injury. Because they got rid of Zeke. Because they're like, Zeke's not giving us production. But, man, y'all done wore the man down.
Yeah, he was not. Yeah, he looked bad.
He looked bad last year. Because, I honestly believe he played hurt the whole year. I don't think he was ever healthy.
I can see that.
Because, if you notice, he had this gigantic brace on his knee the whole season long, and he just didn't have the speed. They never really put him in positions on the offense to catch the ball out of the backfield. That was Pollard.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he couldn't really run through the trenches no more because he don't have that speed. I just think he played hurt. So I'm curious to see how Dallas is going to treat Pollard when he come back off this injury.
Yeah, like I said, running backs got about a 4 to 6 year span.
Mm-hmm.
You got to make your money quick.
Yeah.
All right. Unless you have a dual running back.
Exactly, because you think with rookie contract, that's 4 years, right? The first four years, 4 or 5 years. So really, yeah, if you're not
plus yeah.
So if you're not really killing, and by that third year, the chance of you getting big money is just out the door. Because if you got hurt anywhere in between those first 4 years, you're going to be kind of.
Saquon still on his rookie deal?
Yeah, that's what I said. This is rookie deal. Yeah, that's what I said. That's why he's talking about a contract extension. So him getting hurt, but like my thing is, if you look at his bounce back, man, he had that Adrian Peterson type bounce back, where it's like, man, it's like, were you ever hurt? Yeah, you're still good. So you're still one of the best in the league. So I don't know. I honestly don't think he's gonna get his money, but I think too, like you said, sit out, and man, don't put no more miles on your body for someone else to not want to give you your money.
Especially when you give Daniel Jones a contract.
I got a friend of mine that worked with me, man. He said, man, but what else were we supposed to do? Who's out there? I'm like,
go look for a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm like, but still, man, you can.
That's a lot of money.
You can get it in free agency. You can, and now don't get me wrong, Daniel Jones is good. Don't get me wrong, he's a good quarterback. But that type of money, I don't know. But like I said, I'm not knocking him. Hey, you gonna give it to me? I'm gonna sign it. I'm not.
No doubt.
I'm not knocking him.
No doubt.
All right, so it came out here recently that there was 5 players suspended for the violation of gambling policy in the NFL. So I'm not going to too much get into the details of who it was, but I want to ask you, when it comes to all these policies that the NFL have, because apparently they were gambling on, NFL premises. Like they were doing their betting and their gambling on the premises of NFL, in the facility. So that's why they got caught and was violating. Now, if they'd have been off the grounds and do what they were doing, that's legal. But by the bylaws of the NFL, if you do it anywhere in their facilities, any of their grounds, that's why you get caught up. So my thing with it is, and my question for you is it that big of a deal?
No.
that's my thing.
No, if they're not betting on their own team.
And they weren't betting on their own team. And they weren't even betting on their own sport. They were betting on other sports.
Yeah, that's the NFL putting their whatever you want to call it, the gavel down, showing them that, sticking their chest up, saying this is my.
Because my thing is, as much as gambling is all throughout, part of the culture now. Yeah. I mean, they having shows right before games talking about the over, the under.
Yeah.
They're telling they have betting sites. MGM has a app where you can go in there and bet on games. So like betting is part of the culture of sports. Yeah. So to me, which I know Pete Rose is probably like, man, I wish this would have been like that for me. But even though his is a little bit different, what he was betting on. But with betting being so embedded in sports, I find it hard to, punish a player for that, especially if they're not doing it in their own sport, against their own team. Because then now the integrity of the game is going to be hurt.
The NFL's not even.
It's not even playing right now.
Right. What are we doing? That's ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. So I don't know. I just think, me personally, it's just like with the smoking weed thing. I know the NBA has come out and said they're not going to be testing for weed anymore. Okay. I don't know the NFL stance. I have to get more in detail, get more information on NFL stance on where they're going with that. But it's just the same thing like that for me. It's like, okay, if these guys, especially all of the trauma they put their bodies through, all of the stuff they go through as professional athletes, if they want to have some downtime to bet on some stuff like everybody else does, I don't feel like they should be punished for that to where their livelihood is taken from them. And then on the flip side of the smoking weed, like I don't personally do it. I know guys that do it.
Yeah, I don't either.
But I don't see that being like a hindrance to them to be able to still perform. So I just don't think that's something they should be punished for, to where their livelihood is taken from them.
I just want to see the script. Where's the script, NFL?
Exactly. All right, so let's talk about staying in the NFL. So you got your vets, and then you got your upcoming players. So I'm with this whole topic is, for me, is vets versus young players.
Okay.
What do you feel like the vets' responsibility, and then vice versa? What do you feel like the young incoming players' responsibilities are for each other?
I mean, vets need to. I'm hoping vets have a responsibility of, teaching the young people and keeping the game the way it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And obviously, with the young people, change is also nice too. Mm-hmm. So for them to come in and change things up, but I think there's way too many, especially now, vets thinking that they can just prolong their career forever.
Yeah.
I mean, Brady did well.
Yeah.
I don't know how much he helped in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Obviously,
especially with the progression of the guys coming behind.
Yeah.
Him. Yeah. Because Thrash, you never. I mean, I'm not saying Thrash is not a good quarterback, but we haven't seen none of him. Yeah. And then of course with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay with Jordan Love. Yeah.
Like I don't know how much mentoring is going on there, which I hope they do because the young people are the future of the team of the NFL. So if they don't take it in the right direction, right now, in my opinion, NFL's top tier in sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we don't continue to mentor and help and find these really talented people that can play quickly,
then the sport takes a drop off.
It could take a hit.
Yeah, it could take a bad hit. And I agree with you. I think as a vet of a sport, and I look at my own self, like if I was in high school playing ball, any kid that was coming up behind me, underclassmen, it's my job to show them the way of our culture on our team, and then show them the do's and don'ts, what to stay away from, what to look out for. And then also by work ethic, showing them, okay, this is how you be a professional athlete. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that veterans are doing that in the NFL. And then as a young player, be receptive to that information you're giving, but also understand that you do have to find your own way in this league too as well.
Right.
But be willing to sit behind these guys and learn from them and not be so quick to want to play over them because they're the old man on the team.
True.
Because some guys like a Tom Brady, it's like, he might have played too long, but he was productive even in his older years of his life up to the last year he played. To still be, most passing yards, most touchdowns. He was a phenomenon, so I'm just hopeful that relation, not only just in football, but in all the sports, baseball, basketball, soccer, lacrosse, whatever it is now, because we got so many professional, and women's basketball and women's sports. We got so many professional sports now. I'm just hoping that the older people realize, like, my time is coming to an end, so let me at least drop as much gems I can.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, you got to think the average person going into a professional league is, 21?
Yeah, 21.
You just are now allowed to drink, and you're talking about giving them millions of dollars.
We talking about.
That's why you see people doing steroid, baseball. What's his name?
To my
San Diego.
Yeah, to my Tyus Jr.
Like he's young. That sucks.
Yeah,
now he just tainted his whole career because of one mistake.
And now even more so, he's going to have more microscopes on him for everything he do now because of that one decision that he made.
Yeah,
and then the questioning of his game before that now is going to be on the table, just like with Barry Bonds. It's like, were you ever that great at hitting the ball? Because
that's why they say Aaron Judge is now the home run leader.
Yeah,
because we'll find out years come down the road because the man's huge. But,
exactly.
Did he do it right?
Yeah, so that's why I say, that's where the veterans come into, to play, is where they have to be the voices. Because you already know the general managers, for baseball, and then the head coaches for football and basketball, their age gap between the coach and the young player is 20-plus years.
Absolutely.
But with a veteran, it's like maybe 8 years, 9 years, sometimes 5 years. So they're going to be more able to listen to you because they feel like you have more common ground with them than somebody that's 60 years old, which you would hope so.
Of course, we're all young ones, so we understand.
Yeah, that's what I know I was a knucklehead when I was young. I ain't listening to nobody. So I get it where there's that little beef, but I just think, like I said, with the new wave of players that's coming in, they need that too.
Absolutely, I agree.
So you definitely want to look at. Have you watched any of the XFL, the USFL?
No USFL. Okay. I have watched a few XFL games.
What do you think?
I like some of the things that they do. Okay. I like the kickoffs. Those are kind of.
I like that.
Sick.
That's one of my favorite things they have.
I hate the commentating at the end of a play. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'll tell you what I don't like the most. This is what I don't like the most. That to me, it's kind of too much WWE, kind of comical banter. Is when they call a flag and you hear the chatter between the referees. Yeah. I don't need to hear all that.
I don't understand how there's not more. You can say it cheating, but like you hear the play call.
Yeah.
On both sides. How do they not hear the play call? Like, let's be for real.
You got to know some of those microphones are intercepted. Some of those headsets are intercepted.
Someone's watching live TV on the side.
Exactly. So I'm like, that right there. And I get it. You want us to be
more interactive.
More interactive and see more inside of the game.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I don't want to hear all that. I don't need to hear the referees. Oh, what did you see? What did you? I don't need to hear that. And I don't need to hear them calling out the actual offensive play in the huddle. Yeah. I don't want to hear all that.
No.
Because 95%, 99% of us don't even know what that means.
No.
They don't know what Z right, slant, X, Y, veer 2. They don't know what that means. So the avid football watcher like me and you who loves football, we just call the play and run the play.
Yeah. No, I think XFL is doing. They've got the progressions in the right way.
Yes.
I think they need to make some tweaks.
Yeah. I like the team names. I like the uniforms.
Yeah.
I like the cities they picked.
I've enjoyed the games I've watched.
I've enjoyed it. I think it's that, to me, is that alternate, football entity that can really not stand toe-to-toe with the NFL, but be a good, second option from the NFL. If, like I said, with the NFL not being around right now, XFL is enough to watch.
I wish they would make that like almost like a farm league. I guess that's what it needs to be.
That's what it needs to be. Because I don't see the USFL staying around too much longer. Now with the success that the XFL has had this year, and what they was having, pre-COVID, I don't see the USFL being able to maintain.
No, I think
they're going to end up having to combine, I think. And then you can have 10, 12 teams with the XFL, because now you take those players that were on those teams and try to build other teams in other cities, or you can put 2 teams in one city because it's enough for that. With the big, with the cities they're in, but I definitely agree with you. That farm thing has got to be an idea.
That, or even use them like the baseball does, like with the clock this year. They put that in the minor leagues last year.
Yeah, they did. Test it out. Yeah, so do a lot of testing in these leagues.
Yeah.
So, because I love the kickoff thing, I think that is tremendous. I think the NFL needs to implement that, because that'll lessen concussions, lessen injuries, and to me, I think you'll also, as a returner, you get to really see who a real skill, because now it's like, okay, you got to get through all that and it's right in front of you, versus, this dude run down the hill, you just make one move, you gone. Yeah. So you don't see too many kickoffs in the XFL, but I think it's safer, yeah. So with that being said, now watch XFL, seeing what you've seen this year, do you think they can ever become a threat to the NFL?
No.
Okay.
No. Listen, I don't. You can't even get basketball to become a major threat.
That's true.
Right now the NFL is tiers above. Yeah. In my opinion. Yeah. Tiers above other professional sports. So I don't ever think they'll become.
Yeah. Because I feel like NHL, they get a lot of their hype and their following once playoffs come around.
That's the only time I watch it.
Baseball, the same thing. They get a lot of their hype when October come around, because it's just so many games.
So I was talking to someone the other day. I was like, 162 games.
Yeah.
I don't want to sit down and watch 3 hours worth of that every day.
For 4 times a week. Yeah, and most fans can't afford to go to that many games. When you talk about, you could be a Yankee fan, but how many games are you really going to throughout the year? Because I know it's not cheap to go to a Yankee game. I don't care if it's the first game of the year or if it's the last game of the year. It's a lot of money.
I said that a lot. It's too many games.
So I wish they would. I mean, I get it why they go so many games. Of course, the financial, earnings from it. But I'm with you. I mean, like basketball, 80 to 100 games. I think that's plenty.
Yeah, basketball's got it right. They just, the NFL's here.
Yeah.
If the NFL wasn't here, NBA would be tiers above everybody else.
Yeah, I think so, because the NBA, with the way they run the league, and then the attraction factor of the league with the different characters that's in the league, the NFL, of course, is first, but then the NBA is right behind them. And then I would put baseball, then go hockey. Yeah. And then the MLS.
I don't watch it.
I watch it, but like I say, it's nothing like World Cup. It's nothing like watching the Euro Premier soccer leagues. It's nothing like watching them. It's much better. Competition levels, much higher.
Man City before I watch anybody in the MLS.
That's what I'm saying. So that's and they're getting better. Don't get me wrong, because they're starting to get a lot of those foreign guys to come over here and play on those American teams. Yeah. But it's just not the same. So, but I agree with you. I think I don't see them being a threat, but I do see them, like I said.
I wish they'd get together.
Because I think, with The Rock being involved in it now, I think there's a good opportunity for
better chance than it was.
Yeah, because before with when Vince McMahon and WWE owning it, I just think NFL's like, man, the comical factor of that, you know, with the nicknames and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
They just like, man,
that's
just not, yeah, that's just
stuff. Yeah,
you know, he hate me and all that stuff. It just wasn't, to me. I think the NFL just didn't take him serious because of that. So, all right, man. So I got one more thing for you before we get up out of here, man. So we've talked a lot about, you know, veterans and upcoming players and, you know, things and you should and should not do. What would you say would be 5 things athletes, I don't care what sport they play, baseball, basketball, football, we was talking about earlier about a 16-year-old, you know, that's in the majors.
Yeah.
Which is got drafted to the majors, which is wild. But, you know, in baseball, you can get drafted that young.
Oh, yeah.
Euro basketball, you can play at 15, 16 years old. So what are 5 things you would say to a kid or a pro, you know, that you should stay away from?
I mean, the biggest thing I would tell someone to do is not to prove, or you don't have to, what's the best way to describe it? Don't go out and buy fancy stuff just because you want to look good in that nice, expensive Rolls Royce. Live your life, do the right things, play the sport you love, and enjoy it. Like you don't need to show out for anybody.
Don't
outside of whatever you're playing. Like, you know, do well, but don't go crazy just because you want to look like you got it all together.
I think the biggest thing, like you said, that financial flash. You don't have to be financially flash because, like you just said, if you're playing football, depending on your position, your lifespan is short in the NFL. Playing basketball, unless you get on a team that really believes in your skill set, that you can actually be an intricate piece, your lifespan is short. Same thing with baseball. If you don't do good in the minors enough to get called up, you're not playing in the majors. So each sport, you have to put a lot of work in to be at that top level. So when you get there, you know, financially be smart about your money.
Absolutely.
Also, don't pretend to be something that you're not, especially if you didn't grow up in that lifestyle. Don't try to be a gangster. Don't try to, you know, do things that can cause you to lose everything you've worked hard for. Number 3 for me is your circle, who you have around you, who's in your ear. That go from your parents to your friends, to your ex-teammates, to coaches. Don't have people around you that's going to hurt your opportunity.
You are who you hang out with.
Exactly, to stay in your league. And like you said, I think number 4 for me is just enjoy the moment, because you know, if you think about it,
you've worked hard,
earned it. You think about it, these young men and women are starting at 4 or 5 years old and playing until 21 to actually go playing these. So you, for 20 years, you've been playing and working and grinding and building your body and learning and growing. So don't don't look at that as like, man, okay, now I made it here, now I can just kind of wild out. You still got to stay disciplined in every area of your life. You know, and then number 5 for me would be, man, just have fun with it. Just have fun, because, you know, a lot of people would kill to be in your position. I'm one of them.
I would love about 4 more inches.
You know what I'm saying? I tell people all the time. I tell John all the time. I tell John all the time. I tell John all the time, man, if I was taller and I had the speed that I see a lot of these guys have and the athleticism, man, I would love to have that. But, you know, I think what I've been given is what I'm supposed to have. And I just pass it on to the next generation the best way I can. And with this podcast, man, I try to pass it on to it as well. Awesome. So I think, you know, that's, to me, the 5 things they want to stay away from, pro and non-pro athletes, because that gives you, you know, the best experience you can and the best career, in my opinion. So, man, Ant, man, I appreciate you again, man, for coming through and helping me out. We're going to definitely have to get you on here with Ty, man, because you did well, man. I know you were nervous and thinking you weren't going to be able to do it, man, but you did well, man. You know your stuff. You know your stuff, man. You know your stuff. So, as always, man, if you're watching this episode, make sure you definitely subscribe. Follow us on Facebook as well. Follow us on all of our other social media platforms, which is down in our description, and which is in my details on my Facebook page. Make sure you comment down below. Let us know what you thought about today's episode. Any comments you had about the topics, let us know, and definitely we'll implement that on the next episode. But as always, man, have a great day. And until the next episode, we'll see you then. Peace.